Hi, welcome to this video. This is part 4 of my series for creating GUI in Python using Tinker, the tkinter module. So in the first part, I have shown you how to create labels and entry boxes. The second part, I have shown you how to integrate your tkinter with files, with text files, so that whatever you write can be saved from file, saved into file, and can be read from file. The third part talks specifically about creating radio buttons. The fourth part here, today I'm going to talk about creating option menu. What is option menu? Option menu is just like a drop down box that we always use. So now I'll show you an example that I've already opened up on the screen, and I'll show you what I mean by option menu. It is this. You see these list of cities. So when I click this button, I can choose a city from the list of cities. So I'll show you just how to create this type of stuff. Okay, so let's go into the code and let's create a code for this. So I've opened a blank file from tkinter import asterisk. Okay, I'm just going to name the window as w equals to tk w.title, and I'm just going to put a title option menu, because in here w.geometry geometry will be 300 by 150, because I'm just going to put a option menu, a drop down box, and then I'm going to put a button over there. So that's it, just to show you how to create an option menu. Okay, so now let's create an option menu. First of all, I'm going to create a label city equals to label. This is the part of the W window. Text equals to choose city, and that's it. I'm going to do a lbl underscore city dot grid, row equals to 0, column equals to 0. Grid is a layout manager function which is responsible for laying components on the screen. If you don't put a grid or pack, nothing will appear. Label will not appear. Now once I'm done that, now I have to go and create the options menu. So I'm going to keep the name opt underscore city equals to option menu. Okay, this is a part of the window W, and so before I do that, first I have to create a variable. Okay, city equals to string var, and before I even do that, I have to create a list of cities. So cities equals to, let's create a list of cities. Since I'm in India right now, I'm just going to make Indian cities: Chennai, Kolkata, Bengaluru, and Delhi. So yeah, these are a good 5 cities. Okay. Now when you do opt city equals to option menu, what I've done, the first thing is the window W, what the window this option menu should be a part of. Okay. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is going to write the variable city, and then I'm going to write cities, and before I do cities, I'm going to put an asterisk over it. Cities is the list, city is the string var, and W is the name of the window. So that's how things should go in, and I'll tell you why I've used asterisk. Now the next thing is to put this on the screen using the grid method. Grid row equals to 0, column equals to 1. And the next thing, I'm going to put a submit button, btn1 or btn submit equals to button. It's a part of W. Text on the button should be submit, and let's say a command equals to let's just write validate, because validate will be the function name which will be called when submit button is clicked. I will make that function in a bit. Button submit dot grid row equals to 1, column equals to 0. Same way, I'm going to create a button reset button w text equals to reset and command equals to clear. Now I noticed that in the previous line I didn't put a comma before I wrote command, so I'm going to do that. And then button reset dot grid row equals to 1, column equals to 1. That's it. Now there is one more thing. When I run the page, when the page loads, which city should be selected first? So we'll do that. City dot set, and I'm going to have Kolkata. So when the page loads, Kolkata should be selected. So I'll go to desktop. I'll just save this file. Yeah, and now I'll run the code. So it says validator is not defined. Okay, we'll look at the error later. But if you see here, I can see the label choose city. I can see my option menu, drop down box, whatever. But this is option menu here. So, and if you see Kolkata is already set. So if I click on it, I change it to Bangalore. I can do that. Now let's check what this error is about. It says that validate is not defined because I have written validate over here, but I haven't defined the function validate. So let's do that. Def validate and just do pass here, and we'll do def clear pass, meaning there is nothing as of now to put in. Now let's run the code. Code has run without any errors. You can see the label, our option menu, and the two buttons, submit and reset. Okay, so when I click the option menu, I can change the values and stuff. So what I want to happen is when I click submit, it should just print out the city that I've chosen. Okay, so I'll do that right now. So for that, when the submit button is clicked, validate method is called. So let's go to validate, and here instead of pass, we'll remove pass, and we will write city dot get. This will fetch me the value of the city which is selected. Okay, and let me put this inside a message box rather than just printing it on the screen. Message box dot show info, and the title is option menu, and the city is city, your city. Okay, now what is message box? It's an inbuilt tool from tkinter which allows you to generate a pop-up. So message box is going to be a pop-up. Okay, so when I click the submit button, the city that I've chosen will come out as a pop-up. So for this to happen, we have to also import it. So we do from tkinter import message box, and then when I click on submit, it shows the message box on the screen. So that should be that. Let's try the code, and let's change it to Delhi and do submit. And it says your city Delhi. There's no space between city and Delhi. I'll fix that. Also, what I have to include is the reset button. So when I click on the reset button, it should change this back to Kolkata. Okay, so let's do both of these things. First thing is to include a space. So I just put a colon and a space so it looks neat. And then the reset part. When I hit the reset button, it should call the clear function. In the clear function, let me remove pass, and we'll do city dot set, again Kolkata. Alright, now another thing is, why did I use string var? Because in my current option menu, I'm just displaying all city names. Okay, so city names are strings, and that's why the variable that is going to be that will bind with this option menu should also be a string variable. That's why we made city as a string var. So now let's see, I've done Kolkata. I'll just select Mumbai because I'm in Mumbai right now, and I do submit, and it says your city Mumbai. And when I click reset, it again changes it back to Kolkata. So this is the basic working of option menu. This option menu only showed you how to make an option menu out of strings. but I can make an option menu out of integer values. So just to demonstrate that, I'll do that as well. I'll shift my buttons to one row below because I'm going to add one more row here, and I'm going to put sizes as another list. It's just some number, so 10, 40, 50 and 80. Okay, and now I'll do size equals to int var. Okay, opt underscore size. So before that we'll have to make a label. lbl size equals to label. It's a part of w. The text here should be choose your size, and lbl underscore size dot grade row equals to 1, column equals to 0, because this should be below the row of cities. That's done. Label is done. Now opt underscore size equals to option menu w. Now this option menu has the variable size, which is bound to it, which is an int var, and then it's going to have an asterisk sizes. Okay, now why do we use asterisk is it should unpack the contents of the list. If I don't use asterisk, see what will happen. I'll show you without using asterisk for the cities. I'll remove asterisk here. But first I'll just do opt size dot grade. I'll put this on the screen. Row equals to 1, column equals to 1. So that's that. So let me run this code now. So remember that I have removed the asterisk from the city option menu. So if you see, then the entire list is shown as one item. This is not appropriate for us. Okay, this is not useful. If I just select this and I do submit, it shows your city is Mumbai. So it doesn't allow me to choose each city separately. For that I have to use the asterisk sign before the city name. So let me go ahead and add the asterisk sign here. That's it. So let's run the code. Now we can see both the option menus. One is for the city and one is for the size. If you see now in the sizes list, I haven't put a value 0, but it shows 0 as the default value. That is because I haven't set any value for size. If I do size.set 50, then 50 will be the item which is selected by default. Okay, and then you can select anything else you want. Alright, and then what I'll do is once I click the submit button, the validate function is called, and then it should also show me my size. So what I'll do is option menu, your size, and this will be size.get. And when I do the clear, meaning when I hit the reset button, size.set should go back to the 50 value. So let's see how this looks. So now let's select Chennai and let's select the size as 80 and let's do submit. I will get first message box which shows my city. Okay, and then there is some problem here. Yeah, the problem is that it's not able to, the problem is over here. When I do size.get, I get an integer value. And I cannot append, I cannot concatenate an integer value with the string, which is this. This is a string and this is an integer. So that's not happening. And that's why I get this error here. You cannot concatenate a string to an integer. So the best way to fix is convert the integer to string, like so. Now this will work. If I run the code, I select Bangalore and I select 80 and I do submit. This is the first pop-up which shows the city. This was fine. This is the second pop-up which shows the size. That is also working perfectly. When I hit the reset button, it's again set to the default values. So yes, this is the basic tutorial on using your option menu in tkinter. I have described it in pretty much detail. So I have also shown you how to arrange, how to lay it out, and how to fetch values. Once you fetch values, you can also store them in a file. You can do whatever you want with it, with these commands, with the get command. So I think you can make good use of it. Let me know if you have any questions. You can put it in the comment box, and if you like my videos, just hit the like button and share it with your friends. Thank you. Bye.